Alright guys, welcome back to part 19. I hope you can hear me well. I hope so. And we're gonna probably keep it as well as 20 minutes, this recording, as well as the model is getting more complex. And then we're just going to look at the model, what we have here, and then we're going to look at what we're going to accomplish in this tutorial. Alright, first of all, if we scroll down, if you've been following my step by step, you probably, yeah. Alright, so if we go around here on this side, alright, so what we're going to do is we're gonna come here and we're going to hide these surfaces here, this surface here, and that automatically hide that one out. Was there's that one as well. And because we're going to mirror all this over, and then I decided that we're going to cut these ribs out because it just looks better with the ribs. And then once we have cut those ribs out, we're going to create this rear outlet, right? So where the air escapes, this surface, this inner surface here. And then if we got still time, maybe in the next tutorial we create the rear splitter. All right, so I don't know, but we'll see. All right, so let's get to it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to mirror everything over to the other end. Okay, but before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to well, let's have a look at the surface here, right? Okay, so let's try and mirror this over. So mirror front plane and then burst to mirror, and then let's mirror all of these over. Okay, and let's not forget the small piece here. Okay, and let's see, and the small piece here as well. Okay, so let's see what we got. Perfect. So we have the indentation, we have the small bits and everything. All right, that's fantastic. However, what I want to do is I want to come here and I want to delete this face because we're going to cut some ribs out from on the other side, and we're going to mirror that over. So I'm going to go to surfaces here and delete face, and I'm going to delete this face here. Well, obviously it's a mirrored surface, so well, let's do something else. Let's delete mirror 17. Right. All right, and then we're going to complete whatever we can. So that's the thing about, you know, completing something on one side before you mirror over, obviously. So let's just cut the ribs from this this face here first. So let's go to the front plane and make a sketch on the front plane. All right, and we're going to jump over to our first display set, and we're going to drop our. You can see, we can see that our car is actually starting to come into shape as we look at the picture, I mean the blueprint with the surfaces. So let's drop this glass appearance on all of the car here. And then we're gonna look at these ribs, right? So the first thing I want to cut out here, right, is what I want to do is obviously we're gonna come in and cut in this direction, right? So first I want to cut these sections, cut this section off, right? So let's do that. Let's make a sketch. So let's grab a spline. Let's bring that spline. Let's bring the spline up to this point here and exit, and grab another spline. Bring the spline up to this point here, about here. Yeah, somewhere over there. And then let's drop a fillet here. That's a good fillet. Okay, and I will just want to move this line. I don't need to move that. It's actually good. the radius of that fillet is good as well. Actually, let's delete this. I'm not. I was not very happy with that. Tangent, yes. Delete. Delete this one as well. Let's jump into our future tree here and just have a look at. Then we are clean and well. All right. So let's go back again, and let's grab that spline, and then let's bring this all the way up to this corner. See the sketch. Let's move this line to about here because I want to leave some room for that gap actually. And then let's grab the other spline up to about, bring it up to about here because I want to follow the straight line. Obviously, I want to give this a little bit of profile as well, something like that. Okay, and I just want to grab a center line here, and I want to get that line here just for reference, and then we know what we are going after. So let's move this up a little bit to about here, maybe a little bit higher. And that's how those upper lines going to end up. And press OK. And let's trim this small bit here. Okay. And now let's drop that fillet here. Okay, that fillet looks good. And then we're going to drop another line coming out to this way here. And let's go to surfaces and trim this small piece here, right? Okay, so let's have a look at what we got, and then by taking off this glass appearance here, let's remove the glass appearance, right? So as we can see, if we jump over to our second display state, it's good there, right? But in the first display state, we haven't hide this section. So let's just hide this one here because we don't need it, right? And let's hide this line as well. We will probably try to tidy things up along the way, but we have a sticking out piece here, which we're going to sort out right now. So let's jump into the side view here. Okay, and let's go to surfaces, and then let's trim some surface here. So let's use this as a trim tool. But before we do that, let's just delete this face, and we will bring that face back. Let's hide it. Asset, so now we can see inside. All right, so yeah, so let's go to trim surface. Let's use this as a trim tool. There's selections from the trim tool, and let's use this, not the plane clear selection. We're going to use this body as a trim tool, and then we're going to get rid of this piece here, right? Okay, so once we got rid of that one, obviously now we have a nice edge that we can work with. So we're going to go to sketch, 3D sketch, and then convert enemies, and then we converted this edge here that we just trimmed, right? So let's jump back into our second display state, and then we're gonna come in here, right? And what I want to do is bring in our first display state and drop back that glass appearance so we on the whole thing, so we can see what we're dealing with, and then that's the edge of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a spline here, and I'm gonna come from this edge here and then all the way through out here, right? Exit the sketch. And I want to use this edge here as this edge, hold control with this line. I want to add tangency with this one. Okay, and if I go to surfaces and trim surface, I'm gonna get rid of this small piece here. Okay, so now if we take off our glass appearance here, remove the appearance, I can see things are all starting to look a lot better. Alright, so let's go on and cut out the second split here, a second gap here. So we're going to draw back our glass appearance on the whole thing, right? And then we're going to make a sketch, another sketch on the front plane. Oh, we just hit some plane here, which I didn't want it to do because I'm moving too fast. So let's get that plane back. So I think it was front view plane. There you go, front plane. So show that. Okay, good. So we got the plane here. So let's go normal to profile. So now all I want to do is I want to come back down here, and I believe that we have a center line that we used before. That's the one. So I want to show that center line there. Okay, so we're going to use this center line here. All right, so let's go on and make a sketch on the front plane. Okay, so let's make a sketch here. Let's grab a spline, and we're gonna come up to this corner again. I don't want to use any points. Come to that corner and make this line somewhat perpendicular to the other one. All right. So I'm gonna move this back to about here, so we leave plenty of room. Yep. And then grab that other spline and go up to that. Go up to this point here. Also, I want to be perpendicular with this one. Alright, and exit the sketch. Okay, move this up to about here. So we leave plenty of space for that gap. Alright, so that's good. And now we're going to just drop our fillet here. Okay. And then let's do an offset on this line here. Right, and then let's reverse that. And let's use say 1. Maybe try 2. 1.5. 1.5. 1.5. Okay, so 1.5 should be alright. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab a line, click on this line, and then there you go. We have the perpendicularness of that. All right. So let's trim this edge. Well, it trimmed the whole thing. All right. So let's grab that line again, and let's grab our line here. Okay. So let's grab that spline. All right. Gonna go all the way up. We're gonna go all the way up here. And let's yeah, because it's another sketch, that's why. Okay, so now I see why. All right, so let's go and grab this line here and just come here to that, just over, right? And let's just trim this here and this here. Perfect. All right, and let's go to surfaces and trim surface, and let's trim out this inner surface here. All right, so that one is trimmed out. And now we move on to the second trim. You know what? Let's do this big piece here first. Let's do this big piece here first. So let's go and make another sketch on the front plane. And then it's going to be a spline. Okay, so it's going to be a spline. Yeah, so we are in a spline. And we're gonna stay on this. And we're gonna come up to this point. And then I'm gonna grab another spline and I'm gonna come down to about here. And then we can move this about just a little bit. So we leave plenty of space for the second gap. And we're going to move this down about here. Right? So we're going to give this a little bit of profile as well. Something like that. And then let's grab that other spline and just drop it from this point down, and we're going to follow this line here, of course. And then let's drop that fillet on that corner. Okay, so that's a bit of a big fillet. So let's try 5, and 5 looks a lot better. Okay, and we're going to trim out this big piece here. All right, so let's go to surfaces, trim surface, and let's trim out this big piece. Okay. All right, perfect. And for the second gap, we're going to trim out this one here. So let's make another sketch on the front plane. And let's grab the spline. We're going to come down all the way about here. Again, a little bit about here. And then let's grab that other spline. Bring it from this point down to here. All right. And then let's do an offset. And we want to reverse that over to that one. Okay, that looks good. And we're just going to grab a line and just go that one and staying on this one. And we're just going to cut this one here and that one. All right, so now let's just jump to surfaces here and trim surface. And we're going to trim out this inner piece. That looks good. And now let's have a look how our ribs looks like. So you go to second display state. All right, so it's a lot better now. I'm a lot happier actually than I was before. However, we forget to add the fillets on these ones here. So let's do that. Let's go back into the feature tray. Come all the way down here. And surface trim. Let's edit. So we need to edit. We need to actually edit the sketch. Right. So this is the sketch here. So edit that sketch. And then profile. And let's add fill as well. All right, so trim. So let's delete the surface trim actually first. All right. Surface trim. Okay. Now if we go back here to sketch and edit the sketch, and let's add it now. All right, so let's cut the offsetted sketch, and let's add our Okay, so that's good, and let's offset it, of course, and reverse. And we just need to connect these 2 points. All right, exit sketch, and of course, surface trim surface. It's going to be the sketch here that was made. For the trim tool, and then it's here. Okay, so let's jump back over to our second display set for a second. All right, sketch. So let's grab that spline, connect this point. All right, so I should be able to trim it now. Go to trim surfaces, and I think actually surface selection. Okay, all right. I see what's the problem here. So let's delete this here. Let's hide this one. Okay, and let's jump back into our first display state and let's draw that. Okay, so front plane, a sketch on the front plane, and let's grab that spline and come from here down to about here. See the sketch. And spline to about here. And then let's grab that fillet. Okay. And now let's offset that sketch. Okay. And now we're just going to extend this line here. There, and we're going to trim this. All right, so let's go to surfaces now and trim this inner piece. There you go. All right, perfect. So let's jump back into our second display set and let's have a look at our ribs. All right, our ribs are looking beautiful and exactly I should. All right. All right, so let's mirror now our surfaces over. So let's go to futures, mirror, and we're going to use the front plane and then body stream, of course. All this over, small piece in here, and of course our ribs. It's all over. All right, looking good. Okay, perfect. For let's save a project here. All right, and in the next tutorial, we're going to jump into the back and we're going to create this area here, the outlet. All right. So see you in the next one.